Love, be encouraged, love. We'll see you through, love. Be the first to love and fill your heart with. Be about it. Sing a song about it. Never doubt that. Inspirational love is our shelter. Now and always love. Before and after love. Love, love gives you courage, heals your heart. It's the best thing. You can't go wrong with it, 'cause it's eternal and it has no end. So stand on up for love. Full dimensional love is our shelter. Now and always love. Before and after love. Love, love gives you courage, heals your heart. It's the best thing. You can't go wrong with it, 'cause it's eternal and it has no end. So stand on up for love. Unconditional love is our shelter, love. Now and always love. Before and after love. Love, love, mother. There are too many of you crying. Brother, brother, brother. There are far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Yeah. Oh, Mama, we don't need to escalate. You see that war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Brother, too many dying. Sister, mother, fathers, far too many of you crying. You know love is our courage, love. Now and always love. Before and after love. Love, love. Love being. Get your groove on. It's eternal and it has no end. So stand on up for love. Unconditional love is our shelter. Now and always love. Before and after love. Love, Father, Father. Everybody might think we're wrong. Oh yeah. Oh, but who would they to judge us? Simply cause our faith is strong. You know we've got to find a way your shelter.
Purpose statement. Our purpose is to create a spiritual community that recognizes that there is one presence and one power in the universe, God. Daily, we actively practice this spiritual truth. We open our heart space to each person to acknowledge one another as expressions of God. It is in each other that we see God.
May our hearts be open. 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 May our hearts be open.
Great morning, Open Heart family. My name is Angela Sargent, and my task this morning is the invocation. God, we welcome you into this space. We celebrate and we are so grateful for the life that you have lavished upon us. God, we ask that you open our ears so that we can hear your voice. God, we ask that you open our minds so that we can receive your eternal wisdom. God, we ask that you open our spirits so that we can receive your guidance with understanding. God, our goal here today is just to learn how to be more of a reflection of you. We honor and adore the fact that you are always present. And we pray that when others see us, they see you. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Here we go. Soprano.
There we go. It started so let me start.
Above my head, I hear music in the air. Above my head, there's a melody so bright and fair. I can hear when I'm all alone, even in those times when I feel all hope is gone. Above my head, I hear joy bells ring. Above my head, I hear angels singing.
What comes from the heart reaches the heart. Good morning and welcome to our Heartstream for this Sunday, July the 23rd. I am glad that you have joined us for this morning's Heartstream. It is always great to have each and every one of you. I begin today's Namaste moment with a bit of sad news. One of the members of Open Heart, one of our Open Heart family, Virginia Walker, transitioned this week. And for those of you who might remember Virginia was with us for a long time. She started out almost from the beginning of Open Heart and was there with us. She and her sister, Rosalind, or Raleigh, as the family like to call her, as you may remember, transitioned a couple years ago. But Virginia continued to watch us and continued oftentimes. I know that when Virginia and I would see one another in person at Open Heart, we were fans of CSI Miami, and we would talk about that show all the time. But the opportunity there to be able to fellowship with her was something that I cherish. And so it is with sadness that I do announce that she has transitioned. Her sister Juanita, her other sister, is still very much a part of Open Heart. She joins us on Sunday mornings to watch the Heartstream. And we know we want to continue to pray for her family, her daughters and her son, and for her other sisters and the other people in their lives, knowing that this is a tough and difficult time for them. Know that they will continue to miss her, but we also know that she has made the transition, but she still is a part of that great cloud of witnesses, the ancestors that are there with us. On another note, I'd like to say congratulations to Emma Crystal, who, if you're not familiar with the Ostrander Awards, here in Memphis, the Ostrander Awards is a local theater awards that is given out every year. They have an award ceremony every August to recognize those persons and those productions and elements within the theater community. It's kind of the local version of the Tony Awards. But she was nominated this year for 2 Ostrander Awards. She was nominated for Best Choreography in a Play for the choreography that she did for the play Shaking the Mess Out of Misery, which she also directed, by the way, at the Hattie Lou Theater. And then the second was the choreography that she did for the Scottsboro Boys at Playhouse on the Square. So congratulations, Emma, for the recognition that you received for your hard work, because something people may not know is that she was doing both of those at the same time. The Hattie Lou and Playhouse on the Square across the street from one another. She'd go to rehearsal at the Hattie Lou with Shaking the Mess, and then once they got finished, she'd walk across the street and do the choreography and work with them for the Scottsboro Boys. The Scottsboro Boys, by the way, received the highest number of nominations for the Ostranders, which was 12. And so her work is recognized once again, and I'm very proud of you, Emma. We also have coming up the Fifth Sunday Fellowship. We know that the Fifth Sunday Fellowship takes place next Sunday, beginning at 2 p.m. at 662 Minor Road. We will have meditation, we will have prayer, we will have our own Angela Sargent leading us through an affirmation creation exercise. The Voices from the Heart are going to also sing. We'll have an opportunity to see one another in person at 2 p.m. at the Haven at 662 Minor Road, right near the University of Memphis campus. And finally, next Sunday, speaking of Angela Sargent, she will be our guest speaker for our morning Heartstream. So our Heartstream in the morning at 10 a.m. and then our in-person Fifth Sunday Fellowship at 2 p.m. We look forward to the opportunities that we have that present themselves in all it is that we do and the way that you support us. And I greet you. I bless you. I see God in you.
Our theme for the month of July, with a clear target in mind. With a clear target in mind, I align with Spirit to achieve what I want. Together, we focus, direct, refocus, and redirect to live a healthy, whole, and abundant life. And so it is.
like today should be holidays. So I'm singing this message to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Just have a happy day.
All right, here we go. All right. Okay. I ain't got my remote.
Do you have to hold that or?
Here we go.
I'm not worried about tomorrow. Today I'm blessed. Freedom from yesterday, mistakes of the past.
Today all things are made brand new. And don't it feel good to know that
I can change my reality. I'm changing my mind. Perfect peace, joy, and happiness. It's yours and it's mine.
I am loved and so are you. And don't it feel good to know
divine spirit is directing me right now. I am cloaked in the spirit. I am fed by love divine.
I am one with all there is. My soul is made from time. I am blessed, and so are you. And don't it feel good to know that? Don't it feel good? Just to know that my soul is free from time. All I gotta do is change my mind. I'm free. Don't it feel good? And I'm falling and it should. All right. That's it, y'all. She's done. All right.
Good morning, Open Heart. Today's affirmative reading comes from The Power of Positive Energy, everything you need to awaken your soul, raise your vibration, and manifest an inspired life by Tanesh Chubb. Reclaiming your power. Many of us forget that we have the power to shape our reality. Many of us forget that we have the ability to live life from a place that is so magical and so purposeful that we feel an amazing sense of belonging and positivity as we move through the world. This place of being is not something that is reserved for a select few. This place of being is accessible to anyone and everyone. And the good news is this place is not even hard to achieve. All you need to do is to open your mind to the possibility that there is another way to live your life, and that there is a way to live a life that is filled with positive energy and magical opportunities. With this shift in awareness, with this openness to explore and start working with the energy of the universe, you can start living a life that is bigger and more abundant than you could ever imagine for yourself. You can start living a life that feels like it was designed specifically for you. Today's affirmation: I am reclaiming my power.
Tell me, what's going on at Open Heart? Well, let's watch and see. It is with a great deal of sadness that I announce the transition of one of our longtime members, Virginia Walker. Her funeral services are pending, and we certainly will let you know when they are. But let us continue to pray for her family, her sister Juanita, who is a part of our Open Heart family, and her many other sisters and her brother and many other family members. We certainly will miss thee. Congratulations to our music director, Jason Tejada, and his new wife, Janella Walker Tejada, who were married on July the 7th. We are so happy and proud for them. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations to Emma Crystal on her Ostrander nominations for the year 2022-2023 for her choreography in the play Division 1, Shaking the Mess Out of Misery at the Hattie Lou Theater, and choreography musical Division 1, The Scottsboro Boys at Playhouse on the Square. Very, very well done, Emma. We are so proud. On Sunday, July the 30th at 10 a.m. during our Heartstream, our special guest speaker will be Angela Sargent. We look forward to having Angela with us again. Our next Fifth Sunday Fellowship takes place on Sunday, July 30th from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. at The Haven, 662 Minor Road, and we look forward to you being there. We had a wonderful time the last time, and we know that this time will be no different. We look to see you there. There are 3 ways to give. Give through Cash App, OHSC 901, online at ohsc901.com, or text to give 615-422-4292. At Open Heart, we believe in the power of affirmative prayer. And as you see these names here, these are individuals and families that we remember and hold the space for. We know that all is done in consciousness for each and every one of them. We continue to lift them in all that we do. Start your day or continue your day with our daily affirmative prayer call that takes place every morning at 8 a.m. time. 901-586-8755, where one of our prayer team members will lead you in prayer.
Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Wanna change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with your imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Wanna change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with your imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
Maxwell Maltz tells the story of a friend of his who had a 10-year-old son who wanted to be a baseball player. He said the young man could catch, but he couldn't hit. He was frustrated, and his friend brought his son to Maltz, and Maltz had an idea. He said, let's go out and watch you try to hit the ball. And so he did. He took him out and he tried to hit the ball, and every time he swung as hard as he could to no avail. He wasn't able to hit the ball. And Maltz said, you are trying too hard to hit the ball. Let's try something. And so he said, I want you to stand there, and I'm going to have your father throw 10 pitches. I want you to hold the bat on your shoulder, but I don't want you to hit or try to hit or swing. I just want you to watch the ball go by. So the young man, of course, he was a bit skeptical, but he stood there, placed the bat on his shoulder. His father threw 10 pitches, and each time he watched the ball go by. He said, now I want you to stand there for 10 more pitches with your bat on your shoulder. Don't attempt to swing. Just watch the ball go by. But this time, in your mind, say to yourself, I am hitting the ball. And see yourself bringing the bat around to meet the ball. See yourself doing that, imagining yourself doing that. And so again, the young man stood there with the bat on his shoulder for 10 pitches. He just stood there and he saw himself and said to himself, I'm bringing the bat around to meet the ball. And then he said, now what I want you to do, your father's going to throw you a pitch. I want you not try to hit the ball hard, but just bring the bat around to meet the ball. And so that time as his father threw the pitch, guess what? Yes, when he brought the bat around, he hit the ball. And then he tried to do it again. He brought the bat around and he hit the ball, and so on and so forth. And he ended up at the end of the day being able to successfully hit the ball. And Maltz said he had a best friend for life after that. But it's important when we think about it. Think about a story about a person who wanted to go beyond their particular career to become a world-class speaker, if you will. They just had one problem. They were afraid of speaking in public, and they'd only done it in the small confines of their office and never really done anything like that. But in their mind, they had the idea that they could be a public speaker. So they took the opportunity on Maltz's suggestion to begin setting themselves in a place where they were imagining that they were speaking to large crowds of people, that people were enthralled with the words that they had to say, and they were caught up in the things that he had to say. And as a result of that, over time, as he continued to practice, and he would go outside and speak to the trees, or he'd go in a place, an auditorium, and speak to the empty seats. And as he continued to see himself doing that, and he put himself in a place where he got invitations, small invitations to speak in the beginning, but as he did so, he built his confidence. As he continued to imagine himself there, he continued to have success. And ultimately, he became a person who was a world-class speaker because he saw it. I want to challenge a convention that we oftentimes have in New Thought Ancient Wisdom. We say that if you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. And often people do that counter to the idea that seeing is believing. Well, I want to say right now that seeing is believing and it is achieving. And I want to say it like this. There is inside of each and every one of you. Yes, it is. Something inside of each and every one of you. The power to do something which is endowed with us, our God-given power. And that is the power to use our imagination. And so anytime we are talking about creating or bringing things into our lives, a part of that comes from being able to see it first. Because remember, everything is created twice. And so the idea is that it's first seen in the mind, it's first seen in the imagination, it's first conceived of there, seeing it. Whether we see it in any type of physical manifestation, whether there are other images that come to us, but the opportunity is there for us when we begin the creative process to first see it in our minds, to imagine it. And once we imagine it, then things begin to open up and things begin to happen, and then it comes forth in manifestation. But it's important that we learn, first of all, that we see it, we imagine it. And that's so vitally important. And what I'm really talking about this morning is us learning how to intentionally and deliberately use a process that we use all the time. You might not think about it, but if you think oftentimes when you have an ache or pain, and often what people do is they will start to imagine the worst, become afraid, well, this ache or pain must be something serious. It might be something terminal. Or if you have a person that you are interested in and you have been communicating with that person for a few minutes and for a time, and a particular time you reach out to that person, they don't respond back to you in the same time frame that you once did, you become worried. You think that something's wrong, or you think that they might have turned their back on you. You think something else. We oftentimes think about or imagine or expect the worst. It could be many other ways in which we use this process that of the imagination, and worry is a big way in which we use that. But I'm talking about this morning using these things in a positive manner, using what Marx calls the theater of your mind. Yes, the theater of your mind. That's the opportunity to be able to see ourselves and to see things happening and unfolding in our lives in the manner and in the way in which we wish for that to take place. So we begin the process. And in this theater of your mind, guess what? You are the director. That's right. You are the director. You get an opportunity to control what happens in your imagination, in the theater of your mind. You are the director, and you are also the actor, the star of your show, if you will. I'm thinking about Cedric Moore's phrase and his business, everybody is a star. But you are the star in the theater of your imagination. And when you are able to take control of this, when you're able to use this technique in such a way that it makes a difference in your life, you begin seeing things that I've been talking about all of this month, with having a clear target in mind. And a part of achieving that target is using the theater of our imagination. And again, it's a deliberate attempt, because as I've talked about before, we get so often caught up in the things that we don't want to happen. We worry about things. We imagine the worst possible scenarios happen, and we don't recognize and realize we can take that same energy, and use that energy to create positive, powerful things in our lives. So the theater of our imagination. And it becomes so important because we can use it in everyday situations and circumstances, whether we realize it or not. We can take the opportunity, as a matter of fact, every night before we go to bed, seeing how we want our next day to unfold, the kind of interactions that we wish to have with people, whatever things or responsibilities or other tasks that we might have before us that are going to meet us the next day. We can see ourselves successfully moving through those things. We can see ourselves achieving the goals that we might have in mind. If we have a to-do list, we can see those things happening. But we can really, really have in our awareness and our understanding that, as the scripture reminds us, that we can call forth those things that be not as though they were. We can begin doing that process by using the theater of our imagination. Again, it's something that's not new to us. It's something that we have done for so many years, whether we realize it or not. Imagination, as I often say, is not just child's play, but it's an opportunity for each and every one of us to do the things that we need to do. I can remember years and years ago as a child, the opportunities that I had and the fun that I had underneath the dining room table in my house with my matchbox cars and my G.I. Joes and plastic soldiers and all of that. And I would have hours and hours and hours of fun using my imagination. Those cars were real in my mind. Those soldiers and those other things were real on a certain degree, a certain level. And capturing that, getting back to that, how powerful that is for us. So this is what I am talking about today. So first, how do we use the theater of our mind? What does it actually mean? Well, I'm so glad you asked. An important part of this process is to find some quiet time, a time where you won't be disturbed, a time where you can just relax. And it's important to get into a relaxed state, but you can just relax. Close your eyes. Focus on your breathing. And whatever dynamic, whatever it is that you wish to see happen and unfold in your life, begin seeing that. You can even, as some people suggest, see yourself walking into a theater and being seated in the theater, and the curtain comes up or the movie screen comes down, and there you see yourself acting out in the situation, the circumstance. Who are the people there? What are the conversations that you're having? What are the smells and sounds and other things that are there that you encounter? And the more and more detailed and realistic you become about these things, the more you begin to cement those opportunities and those things happening in your minds. The more you're able to do that, the more you get the gist of what the theater of the mind is all about. And there are two ways to do it. You can see yourself on screen or on stage acting these things out, or you could do it from the perspective of being on stage or being in the film, looking out at the camera or looking out on the audience. But in other words, again, you continue to play out the scenarios of the things that you wish to experience in your life. You continue to work in ways that you see things happening in your life. And as you do those things, as you continue to get good at it, as you continue to take the time to make it happen, as you continue to use this process, you begin seeing things change in your life. You begin seeing things unfold in your life. As I said on last week, I'm not telling you something that I just read about in that book, but I'm telling you about things that personally work for me and the opportunity to pre-pave an experience, if you will, to be able to see things before they even happen and to see them in the manner in which I wish for them to happen. And you can even prepare yourself for, in the case of unforeseen things happening, unforeseen things unfolding, you can also prepare yourself for your reaction in those times and in those places as well. But it's important that we understand that we have the ability to get a hold of this creative process that is within us, we are endowed with it, and it allows us, again, everything is created twice, that we co-create with the Creator for things to begin happening in our minds and then ultimately happening in our lives. Those things do show up. They do show up. I know that I've talked about the fact that a lot of these principles, when we talk about New Thought, Ancient Wisdom, and people ask, why isn't it more well known? Well, the fact of the matter, it is well known. It's just that now it has taken on so many expressions and so in so many places and it doesn't oftentimes get the tag, but there's still ideas and principles that the people who are the pioneers of this teaching were using long before the mainstream got a hold of it. I started out with a sport example, and there's another sports example where just the other day, my wife and I were talking about something that she heard about an experiment that was done where there were three teams where they were looking at improving their free throw. And so the first, they had them basically not do anything out of the ordinary. And the second team, they had them to practice in their minds shooting the free throw without actually going into the gym, but just seeing themselves at the free throw line, imagining themselves at the free throw line and shooting the ball and the ball going in, them making a successful basket. And then the third group, that had them actually go to the gym, actually stand at the free throw line and actually shoot the ball over and over and over again. And what they discovered is that with the first group, their free throw percentage didn't improve. But with the second and the third group, the one that just imagined themselves shooting the ball and the ones who had actually shot the ball because they brought this second group in and had them shoot, that their percentages of shooting the ball and making a successful free throw, I can't talk this morning, a successful free throw, their totals were almost identical. And again, because knowing the fact that when we begin seeing things, creating things twice in our minds, and then actually carrying them out. So anything that it is in your life that you want to achieve, the things that you want to experience, all of those things, using the theater of your mind, you can make this process happen. You can use this process to your best of your ability. You can do things like if you have to go in for a particular doctor's appointment and certain things that you're dreading hearing from the doctor, certain diagnoses or prognosis and everything like that, you can take the opportunity to begin playing in your mind how you wish to see it happen, how you wish for things to unfold. You might find yourself going for a job interview, and again, seeing beyond just a job interview, but seeing yourself actually in place in the work environment that you wish to be in. So many possibilities, so many opportunities that we have to use the theater of our mind. And when we master this, when we get a hold of this, things do in fact begin happening in our lives. Things begin changing, and we see a dynamic future, a dynamic life. You are the star. You are the director. You are the one that can make it happen. You open yourself up and become available to the creative process. And as you do, because it's already done in the mind of God, you make yourself available to what is happening. You make yourself available to what the Creator has in mind. Because we have to understand this, that the Creator wants what's best for us, the highest good for us. And as we continue to see that and align with that, things begin to unfold, things begin to happen, things begin to come forth. We have a joyful and joyous life. And we see that when we have a clear target in mind, things do happen. I hope you will try creating within the theater of your mind the things that provide you with a happy, healthy, whole, successful life, relationship, whatever it might be, that you take this opportunity to start today, taking just a few minutes each and every day, setting time aside. Start out with 10 minutes. I know that you might say, well, how can I do that? How can I find time? But a lot of people are scrolling on their phones or watching things on television or whatever for more than 10 minutes. Start out with 10 minutes every day and then build that up. 30 minutes is probably the recommended time. If you want to go longer than that, that's fine. But take the opportunity to do this, to use this process so that you're not sitting around thinking about, the fact that there are people in this life, people who make it happen and people who wonder what happened. Be one of those who makes it happen. Theater of your mind, the opportunity for this to indeed unfold. Bless you. And so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, and I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling to make it through another day,
Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more troubles, no more strife. With my faith I've seen the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
No more tears to wipe away, no more fear to bind me. I've been led to find my way. Here I stand in faith and courage to feel what's within me. No more silence, I am free. Surrender to the mystery. You can't control, so let it go. Allow it to simply be here and now, and everything is one with each other. Love is the answer. Know that you're perfect, exactly the way you are. The words you choose to speak, your thoughts, they manifest your life. Will you keep guiding me to be my most highest self? Everything I need is all within me right here, right now. Here I am. My heart is wide open. Receive the love so pure and true. I shine the light bright for you and you and you and you. Surrender to the mystery. You can't control, so let it go.